Assalamu alaikum, good morning and welcome. Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakar is in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to participate in the World Climate Action Summit as part of the UN Climate Change Conference 2023. Prime Minister Kakar's agenda in Dubai includes high-level participation at the summit and some bilateral meetings on the sidelines. He will address the summit tomorrow, where he will present Pakistan's vision for climate change, advocating for common commitments in mitigation, adaptation, climate finance, and the loss and damage. He will also emphasize equity and global cooperation for climate resilience. At COP28, Pakistan aims to collaborate with developing countries for the operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund, a meaningful outcome for the global stocktake, and the fulfillment of the overdue goal of mobilizing $100 billion annually in climate finance. Before proceeding to Dubai for the World Climate Summit, the Prime Minister undertook bilateral visits to the United Arab Emirates and the state of Kuwait on 26th to 28th of November and 28th to 29th of November, respectively. In the meeting between Prime Minister Kakar and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates, the two sides reaffirmed their commitment to further strengthen bilateral strategic cooperation. The leaders also discussed regional and global developments, particularly focusing on the dire situation of human rights and humanitarian situation in occupied Palestine. The Prime Minister also reiterated Pakistan's full support for UAE's presidency for COP28. The two sides concluded a number of MOUs pertaining to investment cooperation in the sectors of energy, port operations projects, wastewater treatment, food security, logistics, minerals, and banking and financial services. During the visit to the state of Kuwait, the Prime Minister met the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister of Kuwait. The leaders expressed satisfaction at the trajectory of relations and agreed to remain in close contact to take forward and strengthen Pakistan-Kuwait ties. MOUs pertaining to investment cooperation in the sectors of IT, food security, minerals, mangrove-based expansion, and water management were signed during the visit. Foreign Minister Jalil Abbas Gilani visited Brussels this week to attend the International Conference on a Global Alliance to Counter Migrant Smuggling. At the conference, the Foreign Minister emphasized the importance of addressing the root cause of irregular migration and called on the developed countries to offer safe and legal migration pathways, highlighting the importance of protecting migrants' rights. He also outlined Pakistan's proactive legal and administrative measures to curb illegal migration and human smuggling. In his meetings with EU officials and participants and parliamentarians, the Foreign Minister focused on mutually beneficial cooperation in climate change, food security, green technologies, artificial intelligence, and GSP+. Yesterday, Pakistan and China held the fourth round of maritime consultations in Islamabad. The consultations were co-chaired by Director General China, Muhammad Amir Khan, and Deputy Director General Wang Tinfeng of the two Ministries of Foreign Affairs. The two sides discussed bilateral maritime cooperation and agreed to further enhance cooperation in the maritime domain. This week, Pakistan was elected with overwhelming support as Vice Chair of UNESCO Executive Board for the term 23 to 25 from the Asia-Pacific group. We are grateful to all members of UNESCO for their overwhelming support and the trust reposed in Pakistan's candidature. Also this week, the people of Pakistan joined the international community in observing the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. We reaffirm our support for our Palestinian brothers and sisters in this time of great ordeal and trauma for the Palestinian people. We are disappointed that after a brief pause, Israel has restarted bombing the Palestinian people. The temporary pause offered a crucial respite to the suffering people of Gaza and allowed exchange of prisoners. Pakistan reiterates its call for a durable and sustained ceasefire to enable supply of extensive and robust humanitarian assistance, urgent medical aid to the injured, and shelter to those who have been displaced as a result of indiscriminate and inhumane bombing campaign by Israeli occupation forces. We are deeply concerned at the escalating Israeli aggression against the West Bank and the escalation of hostile acts against the Palestinian population. We strongly condemn the Israeli raid in the Jenin refugee camp and acts of violence and repression against the returning prisoners and their families. The international community should take immediate and decisive steps to bring an end to Israel's campaign of terror against the Palestinian civilians. Pakistan supports the call for a comprehensive investigation into attacks against medical facilities, schools, mosques, churches, residential buildings, and water facilities, and urges full accountability for the war crimes being perpetrated in occupied Palestine. The authorities in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir continue to treat Kashmiri people with an iron fist. Reports suggest that a few days ago, 7 Kashmiri leaders of Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agriculture, Science and Technology in Gandarbal district were arrested for celebrating Australia's victory over India in the final match of the Cricket World Cup. Their arrest has taken place under India's infamous Anti-Terrorism Law, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. This is shocking that cheering a cricket team during a World Cup, of which India was the host, is considered an act of terrorism in India. This development is a clear manifestation of India's misuse of counter-terrorism laws and its erroneous and vicious application of terrorism charges. A group of UN special procedures has already underscored that India's framework of counter-terrorism laws is ripe for abuse. We hope that sanity will prevail and these students will be set free. More importantly, India must repeal these draconian laws and stop using the boogie of terrorism to suppress dissent in IIOJK. Lastly, Additional Foreign Secretary Africa, Ambassador Shahryar Akbar Khan, will lead a delegation to peacekeeping ministerial meeting to be held in Accra, Ghana on 5th to 6th of December. This annual event follows a series of preparatory meetings, including one held in Islamabad in August this year, focusing on safety and security of peacekeepers. Our participation highlights Pakistan's enduring commitment to UN peacekeeping with a history spanning over 6 decades as a leading troops contributor. Thank you.